Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. So let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So y'all, we're looking at the VIX, and as you can see, we've been trading this sideways or in this gathering spot, as I like to say, right? Yesterday's candle is interesting. We had this strong moves down, which made the SPY go up, right? But as of now, we are still trading in this gathering spot, which is interesting because we have some economic data, and we'll go to that economic data coming out. So yeah, the VIX has been just trading right here in this zone, and pre-market support is right here at $20.90. Resistance was around 21.02. So where are the trouble places for the VIX? 21.02. If we break that, we should have trouble somewhere around 21.14 area. Beyond the 21.14, we can find trouble around 21.34, 21.44, and again at 21.51. Now if we break that 21.51 area, which is right here, we could very well come back to this 21.67 area for the VIX. Again, when the VIX is up, normally the SPY is down. So let's look to the downside for the VIX. If we break this level of $20.90, we can come back and find support at $20.75, again at 20.64, 20.52, and 2030. Those are trouble places for the VIX to the upside and to the downside. Again, we look at the VIX only because it gives us an idea of what's going on with the SPY. So let's look at the SPY just to see where we are today. And yes, as you can see, we are here in this zone, and we've been here before, right? So we made this high of 577 on yesterday. We closed at 577.14. We made a high yesterday of 577.71, and look, we've yet to get back to that place. What's interesting is we're trading in this zone here, right? So pre-market support is around 576.39. Resistance is around here at 576.99. You know, if we break that 576.99, 577.05, if we break the 577.05, 577.39, if we break the 577.39, 577.71, we could very well have trouble in that area. And if we break that, we can just keep climbing for the SPY. It's interesting, right? What is really interesting, and I'm going to run to this really quick if I can pull that up. We have economic data coming out. I always go to Market Watch just to see today, you know, what's happening today. So at 8:30, we do have some economic data coming out. CPI, core CPI. So that could very well, and we have the initial jobless claims today. So that could very well move the market. Again, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. Let me say that again, right? So to the downside, where are the trouble places for the SPY? If we break under 576.38, we can have trouble here around 576.75 or 576.92. This is going to be, like, in my opinion, a very strong support area because we have 1, 2, 3 layers of support for the SPY. So my alert will go under 575.57. If we break under that level, then we have broken through a level of support, and we could very well continue to the downside. Now under 575.55, we could have trouble around 575, 574.90, 574.68, 574.37, 574.22, and again at 573.93. Those are going to be support places for the SPY, and I'm going to see if I can make that. Yes, those are going to be support places for the SPY coming back to the downside. Again, I look at support and resistance on a little bit on a smaller scale because when I'm in the trade, I want to know where I'm going to have trouble at. So again, those are trouble places for the SPY to the upside and to the downside. Let's look at Tesla today. Tesla closed at 241.05. It looks as if we're having trouble in this area here. This is our zone, right? We've been in this place before. So resistance is around 244. Support is around 243.83. So Tesla is still in this area here. So again, where are the trouble places for Tesla? To the upside, we need to break back above this 244. Just know we can have trouble around 244.32. Again at 244.86. If we break the 244.86, we can have trouble around 245.79, which is this 200 EMA on the 30-minute chart. If we break the 245.79, we can have trouble around 246.24, 246.55, 246.94. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for Tesla. Now, if by chance we break the 246.93 area for Tesla, we can have trouble around 247.43. If we break that 247.43, 248.35, and again here at 249.05. And Tesla normally exceeds its ATR for the day, so it normally just moves the way that it moves. That's just Tesla, right? So where are the trouble places to the downside? And I need to remove that. Where are the trouble places to the downside for Tesla? We would need to break under these moving averages here. So I would say under the level of 248. Let's see. 243.12. If we break under 243.12, then we could possibly have trouble around 242.72. And again here at 241.85. If we break 241.85, 241.33, under 241.33, 241.01, which is where our ATR trailing stop is, and it's not far from a previous support, 240.72. So I'm going to mark that 240.64 area. If we should break that, we've broken through a couple of layers of support for Tesla to the downside. So again, if you trade Tesla today, I always say y'all trade carefully, because I say it often in the market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. So we're now looking at AMD. AMD closed at 171.02. It too is trading in this gathering spot. We see it. Let me see if I can make it up. Yeah, we're trading in this zone here. As of right now, pre-market resistance is around 172.27. Support is right here at 172.07, right? So it's trading in this area here. So where are the trouble places? You know, if we break above this 272.27 area, we can have trouble again around 172. Did I say 272? If we break above 172.27, if we break above that, then we're going to have trouble around 172.40. If we break above 172.40, we can have trouble at 172.69, 173.10 or 09, 173.10. If we break the 173.10, 173.31, we can have trouble in that area, which is the ATR trailing stop. In my opinion, it's a strong support or strong resistance. Now, if we break that 173.31 area, we could very well have trouble back here at 173.72, and again at 174.34. So AMD looks like we're having some trouble in this area here. 5 EMA is our support as of now. You see it's coming down under that. So where are the trouble places to the downside? Again, under 171.38, we can have trouble around 171.01, 170.86 or 89, 170.70. That's a kind of close to one another. That would have been a zone. So under the 170.70, we can have trouble again at 170.33, under 170.33, 170 even. And as you can see here, there were some buyers in this area. So I would definitely watch this level here of 170 for AMD if you trade AMD. And I would say trade carefully as always, right? So under 170, we could very well come back to 169.54, under 169.54, 168.69, which is the 200 EMA and a previous support level. So if you trade AMD, again, I always say y'all trade carefully, wait on confirmation, and once it goes against your why, get out. Live to trade another day, right? So NVDA is doing the same. It too is trading in our zone in a gathering spot for us. It closed at 162.65. 162.65. Our trouble places here at 132.89. As you can see, we tested this area here, tested this area only to get rejected. We had some sellers there. So where are the trouble places for NVIDIA as of right now? If we break the 132.89, we could very well have trouble here around 133.25. If we break the 133.25, we can have trouble here at 133.64, which is close to this ATR trailing stop at 133.78. Very close, right? So we know that's going to be a trouble place for us. So if it breaks above the 133.78 area, just know we can have trouble here around 134.05, and again at 134.39, 134.85, 135.67. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for NVIDIA. Now, if by chance we come back under this level, I would say under 131.81. If we break that level for NVIDIA, we can come back and retest or have trouble at 131.51. If we should break the 131.51 area, 131.16, 130.92, 130.60, 129.99 and 129.19. Those are going to be trouble places for NVIDIA to the upside and to the downside. So if by chance you trade NVIDIA today, y'all know I always say trade carefully in the market. Anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So we're going to mark this level. We are now looking at Meta, and we're going to mark this level for Meta because as you can see, price is just trading in this zone here, right? Trading in this zone. Again, I'm looking at the 30-minute chart. Meta closed at 590.51. It has been trading in this zone here since yesterday. So this is our 4 o'clock candle. I always try to go to the 4 o'clock candle, but we are again trading in this zone. So where are the trouble places for Meta, right? So to the upside, above 590.78, we're gonna, well, if it gets back above, let's say 590.10, we could have trouble at 590.81. Above 590.81, 591.98, 592.98, and 594.29. Those are going to be trouble places for Meta to the upside. Now to the downside, under 589.08, we can come back to this level of 588.02. Under 588.02, 587.01, 586.28. And again at 585.26, which is right where this ATR trailing stop is forming, and the 200 EMA on this 30-minute chart. So I would watch that 585.26 area for Meta. If it should break that, we could still have trouble around 584.63. So those are trouble places to the upside and to the downside if you trade Meta. So if you trade, I always say y'all trade carefully. Now Netflix is rather interesting. As you can see, we're trading in this zone here, right? So it closed at 727.43. We made a high of 728.59. This is our area of where our support and resistance is as of now. So to the downside, I'm going to just say to the downside for Netflix, but although it can keep climbing, to the downside, you know, we can have trouble at 725.38. Under 725.38, 723.84, again at 722.71, above 722.71, 721.41, 721 even. I would watch that because that's where we had an ATR there and 50 EMA. And under 721, I will watch 720.24. So if you trade Netflix, again, I say trade carefully. I am going to look at it on the daily chart because I wanted to point that it was trading in a gathering spot on the daily chart. This is our daily chart for Netflix, and as you can see, that's the 4 hour, I'm sorry. This is our daily chart for Netflix. As you can see, we were trading in this zone here. Even though we've been moving to the upside, seems like we're slightly out of that gathering spot. So if you trade Netflix, again, I say trade carefully. Can we continue higher? We very well can, but it could get rejected and come back to our zone here on the daily chart, and that's at 725.26. So that's a strong support for us for Netflix, 725.26 area. If we should break that, we can come back down to 707.82 by looking at this daily chart. So again, if you trade Netflix today, y'all trade carefully. Anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. And I do believe we had a couple of inside day candles. I believe Charge Point, yes, is an inside day candle. If by chance we break above this level of $1.42, we have $1.46 as the target. If we break under, let's see, if we should break under the level of 137, then 137 was the target, which we've already reached the downside target for Charge Point. So if you trade Charge Point, I always say y'all trade carefully. LAC is an inside day candle. If by chance we break above $2.82, then $2.99 is the target. Under 267 gives us a downside target of 264. So if you trade LAC, it too is an inside day candle. Lucid is an inside day candle for today. Above 350 gives us a 350 target. Now to the downside, under 337 gives us a downside target of 337. So that's interesting. Interesting, right? 337 gives us a downside target of 337. Yes, so if you trade any of these today, again, I always say trade carefully. I'm going to go back to the SPY just to see where we are, to see we're still having trouble in this area, 577.06. So I would say trade carefully today, y'all. Again, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale because it helps me when I'm in the trade. Although I do look at the bigger scale, I always try to find where my trouble places are once. I need to know that when I'm in the trade, right? So again, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very productive today. And if you could, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, y'all be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.